So, have we saved the best till last? Well, I have to say that the senior X30 drivers are going to have to go some to, to top that last race. I have to say, we've got a 32 kart grid, all raring to go. Of course, here the Mansell Raceway. Now, Nigel Mansell owns this track. Obviously, the Dunkeswell Kart Club, now the Mansell Kart Racing Club. But Dunkeswell has been a fixture on this karting scene for, well, over 50 years. 1967, we started racing here. Well, I didn't. I wasn't even a thought back in 1967. But over the years, there's been a really big passionate local club here, but it's not a track that a lot of drivers here race at regularly. So for these British Championship contenders, I've heard a lot of people saying they've only been here once before, or they've only been here two or three times before. Some of them, it's their first ever time here, but their experience counts for a lot in karting, and nobody has more experience than that man there. The driver's going to start from pole position. 2017 World Karting Champion, defending British Champion Danny Curl for the Jade Racing team on the Birrell ART chassis. He starts first. Starting third will be Clayton Ravenscroft for the KR Sport team, driver number 17, Clayton Ravenscroft. Starting fifth will be his teammate, Sean Butcher. You can see the white stars and the background of the Australian flag on his kart. So he starts on the third of the grid. On the fourth of the grid, number 42, the Mad Croc Promotions entry of Caden McQueen. And we saw a good result for the Mad Croc team in the Mini X30 race, a fourth and a fifth. There is Thomas Fleming for the Dan Holland Racing team. Thomas has had a good round so far. Just looking down the championship, he is sixth in the points down at the moment, is Thomas Fleming. Sam Hawthorne for Argenti Motorsport. Sam is having a good run here, and he's got the Black Lives Matter thing on his side pods. Good to see that as well. Kasper Skuza, owner of the cutest puppy dog in the paddock, a 5-month-old beagle called Toby, who will be, he's probably having a nap now, I'd imagine. Kasper, that's his best start of the season on the inside of row number 7. Gary Edwards, good to see Gary up at the sharp end, the Mark Litchfield Racing number 87 from Ireland, on the comp kart chassis. So Gary having some struggles to get into the finals at Rowra, but he's moved up the order there. There's Matt Armstrong in the number 9 kart for the MLC Motorsport team. He has he had an incident earlier on, and he's been recovering from that all day. Ben Hodge for the Mark Litchfield Racing team will be next. There's look at Ben with that great already. Oh, you can see James, our cameraman, in his visor. So James does get on the live stream, even though he's behind the camera. Behind Ben, that is the number 65 Dan Holland kart of Caleb Marshall. And great shots here, just how intricate these crash helmet designs are. A lot of effort goes into their design. Sadly, I don't want to say this to the drivers, but they all look a bit similar when they're flashing around there. They've got to be distinctive, guys and girls. There's Ewan Wilson for the S8 Racing team. He starts from the inside of row 12. Thomas Wood for the ST Racing team. Lots of blues, lots of whites, lots of oranges, lots of, like, chrome or what have you. All very nice to look at, very, very good to look at. I'm not dissing them, but when they're on the commentary, you need that something to really stand out. Like a pink crash helmet, for example. That's Eduardo Cosateng from the Philippines. Welcome back to the British Championship, Eduardo. He's raced in the IAMI X30 Euro Series and various other events in the UK as well. Oscar Hoole for the Argenti Motorsport team on that Kart Republic chassis. Kart number 58. Now, there's Keane Shields, the Flying Scotsman. Keane Shields, well, Keane, he's going to have to do some flying, figuratively, not literally, please. From the back of the pack, there is mechanic Alex Gill, just giving his kart the once over. He retired to Keane Shields from his second heat, which is why he's down at the back of the pack. Now, James will leg it up to the outside row of the grid, where we should find, starting from P2, the number 5 driver, Rory Hudson. Rory the racer, he starts the number 5 Dan Holland Racing kart. There is the British Open champion, last year's British Championship runner-up, kart number 2, Thomas Turner for the Mark Litchfield Racing team. Harry Platten. Well, we saw Harry pull off some stunning moves at Kimbolton to finish on the podium. Gus Lawrence from the PF International team. He starts number 4 kart from the outside of row 4. His teammate, Bradley Pennell, will be just behind him. That very imposing orange, black and white livery of Paul Fletcher's team. Alessandro Saranetti. Well, there's a crash helmet that stands out. Plain white. Here we are. Save a bit of money. Put it into your budget to go faster on the track. Tyler Reed, kart number 37 for Argentine Motorsport, will be next up. And then we've got, from the People's Republic of Thailand, it's Joseph Taylor, the gold and white starred crash helmet. Jamie Rogers from kart number 69. He is one of the best placed rookies in the championship. He starts from the outside of row 8. Dan McEwen for the Jade Racing team on row 10. And then it's Tom Nippers, Newport's own Tom Nippers, with the Welsh colours on his crash helmet. On the outside of row 11, Archie Tillett, the 3rd member of the PF International team. Quiet round for Archie so far. He goes off 24th on the grid. Chris Bingham from the S8 Racing team. Very distinctive karts here, the Fullerton chassis. And Matthew Reese, the premium karting entry. Morgan Porter, good to see Morgan back. Yeah, he's had a bit of a rough day, a bit of an injured driver as well. And Oliver Greetham rounding out the grid order. And yeah, there's a check. Oh, we can just check to see that Oliver Greetham's race suit is also still in homologation. So that race suit's valid till 2025 because it says so on the back there. So lights, the signal is given. The green flag waves on the dummy grid. Engines are fired. Oh, Dan McEwen's kart hasn't got going. The number 75 kart. And a couple of people looking at that, and you can see a comp kart mechanic there, and Morgan Porter also going out. Now, it's one mechanic on the grid for each of these drivers. Oh, now, there doesn't seem to be a massive flurry of activity to get that kart going. Maybe they're just having a think about it. Now somebody's gone over to get the starter motor, so they go into their first of 2 rolling laps. And here is a full rundown of the starting lineup. Danny Curl and Rory Hudson on row 1, Clayton Ravenscroft and Thomas Turner on row 2, Sean Butcher and Harry Platten on row 3.
Caden McQueen and Gus Lawrence are going to take row 4 from Thomas Fleming and Brad Pennell on row number 5. Samuel Hawthorne and Alessandro Saranetti on row number 6.
Row 7, Casper Scusa and Tyler Reed. Row 8, Gary Edwards and Joseph Taylor. Row 9, Matt Armstrong and Jamie Rogers.
Row number 10, Ben Hodge. Then it's Dan McEwen and Caleb Marshall and Tom Nippers on row 11. Row 12, Ewan Wilson and Archie Tillett.
Dan McEwen's kart has got going and he has joined the field. So we're going to have a full complement of the drivers. Thomas Wood and Chris Bingham on row 13, Eduardo Cosseteng and Matthew Reese, row 14, Oscar Hoole and Morgan Porter, row 15, and Cian Shields and Oliver Greetham starting shotgun on the field in row number 16. Well, while you were down there getting having a chat with Zach Knight, who spoke very, very well there, and he was very good words there from Zach. I did say that right, have we saved the best till last? But be honest, I mean, the senior X30 guys, they're going to have to put on one of the best races we've ever seen to beat that last cadet race.
They are indeed, but the senior X30s do sometimes never disappoint, and hopefully they don't disappoint this time. Revs raised, the smoke comes out, and it's a false start.
Oh, look at that. We had girded our loins, and it was ready to gone to battle, and yes, after you built them up, and they let you down, Anthony. They let you down.
I get let down a lot.
Oh, enough of your personal life. No, let's go. And good to see Alan Dove watching there. And again, nice to see a bit of support there for my crash helmet stance. I love looking at them close up, but when they're blurring by, they all tend to just blend into one another.
Yeah, they all tend to look the same, don't they?
Yes. But, gone are the days when you used to look at the BBC Formula 1 grid and you had all the different really distinctive crash helmets that, PK, Prost, Senna, Mansell, Boots, and, oh, there's a couple of names, Berger, Johansson, oh dear.
Yeah.
Got it all retro there. Right, come on. Ryan Shields is giving family member Cian Shields a bit of the hurry up from the back of the grid. There goes Cian in kart number 71. Alex Gill gave him a good kick as he went off to sort of boost him into action. So, for the second time of asking, Danny Curl and Rory Hudson come out to the dogleg. This looks good. Lights are out. We're off and racing. Curl's got the inside line, Hudson on the outside. Oh, Hudson's going to get absolutely swamped. Are they all going to get round cleanly? Just about, yes. It's going to be very tight, though, in the midfield pack coming into the second corner. Clayton Ravenscroft up on the curbs on the inside line there to try and hold on there, but Danny Curl has made the perfect getaway, and it's Caden McQueen and Sean Butcher. No, what's the matter with Curl? Curl's made a mistake coming out of turn number the complex. He made a perfect start, and then it all went peaked on going to the complex. There's Gary Edwards out of the race. Who leads? I think it's Sean Butcher, you know.
I think you could be right as we go through. It is the 57 plate of Sean Butcher leading the way, but under some close pressure from the 42 of Caden McQueen as they enter the final corner to finish lap 1 here for the Senior X30 final. It's race 16, the final race of the day here at Mansell Raceway, and it is, as you say, Sean Butcher leading from Caden McQueen. Then it's Clayton Ravenscroft. Then it's Danny Curl in the number 1, Rory Hudson, Harry Platten, Gus Lawrence, Thomas Fleming. Then it's Matt Armstrong and then Thomas Turner rounding out the top 10 of the field. But, yeah, what happened to Curl at the end of that lap?
Well, it was half around the opening lap, so maybe going into turn the complex there, you know, a bit of a chain reaction. Well, Harry Platten, I noticed, he picked up a place, he picked past Gus Lawrence going into the complex there, so he's in the 5th place. Well, I mean, the stage is now set for an absolute barnstormer.
Yes, it was indeed.
Because Caden McQueen is sitting right there on the rear bumper of Sean Butcher. So Butcher, he hasn't won a final this year. Callum Bradshaw won the opening round, but he then got signed for the Tony Kart factory team. Danny Curl won the 2nd round, and he won the 3rd round. So Butcher has, you know, he's 2nd in the point standings. He's got a 43-point deficit to start making up. This is a good place to start. He's got to get a win to start with. If he's going to think about being a champion, he's got to get a win. But Caden McQueen is also thinking the same thing. The Croc moves into P1, and the 2KR Sports Cosmics now 2nd and 3rd. Curl recovering and stalking them in 4th place through the corridor into hangar on lap number 3.
Still very close then with these top 4, in fact top 5 and 6. It's just a long train of cuts as they all go through the final corner again. We're going to be finishing lap number 3, starting lap 4. 12.5 minutes left on the clock. And down the inside goes the 17 of Clayton Ravenscroft.
The 2 teammates, Ravenscroft made the move and he forced them both one. Danny Curl, it's like going to Poundland, 2 for the price of 1 there. Yeah. And now he's got Caden McQueen in front of him. So Curl, he picks up 2 places without even having to break sweat. And he's got Caden McQueen in his sights already. Ravenscroft is 3rd, Platten is 4th. And Butcher, I think, has dropped all the way back to 5th position, with Hudson, who made a poor start from the outside of the front row, down in 6th place.
Yep, indeed. So, well, like I say, great recovery from Danny Curl at the moment. The 2KR Sports chassis have made it a little bit easy for him with that lunge, smacking that curb on the exit of the final corner again. That's going to be sore down the inside, though. Danny Curl retakes the lead through turn number 1, and that is the way to do it, but still going defensive through this complex section of the complex. As 11.5 minutes left on the clock. Big look over the shoulder then for Danny Curl, but yeah, great recovery so far.
And Clayton Ravenscroft dives in on McQueen for 2nd place. McQueen now settles back to 3rd, Platten in 4th position. Curl 4 kart lengths in front already. Rory Hudson picks up a place coming out of turn number 5 there as well. So kart number 5 back into P5 at the expense of Sean Butcher. The top 4 are clear. Then it's Hudson, and Hudson leads a whole train, including Butcher, Lawrence, Fleming, Turner, Armstrong, Scusa, Joseph Taylor up to 11th. Then it's Pennell, Hawthorne, and there is Fleming making a move on Gus Lawrence. So Thomas Fleming. So we've now got 2 Dan Holland racing karts chasing down the top 4, but Danny Curl is at the moment now leaving them in his wake.
Indeed, he is. Fastest lap of the race then for Danny Curl, a 46.95 as they go through the fast infield section. As they exit now through turns 6 and 7, through the corridor they come in towards Hangar Bend, round this right-hand hairpin, back onto the back straight to start getting tucked in behind those slipstreams as we watched Curl go through the chicane. No pressure at the moment for Curl as they exit now onto the start-finish straight. 10 minutes left on the timer.
Yep, and Curl's lead 0.4 of a second over Ravenscroft. There is a move back in the pack. That looks like one of the PF International machines. Possibly Bradley Pennell picking up a place on Tyler Reed. as they went into turn number 1 for 13th position. Rory Hudson, driver number 5, new fastest lap, 46.940.
Yeah, nice, good time there for Dan Holland Racing. And as they go through under the 10-minute timer now to go, as they all again just slotting in that single file. There's the number 14, third place, Harry Platten, looking very comfortable there for the MR.
Oh, and I've got to say, there's a couple of carts parked at the side of the track. We saw Ben Hodge and Gary Edwards go out earlier. I think Sean Butcher has retired the number 57 kart. That is absolute devastation for the driver who was second in the championship. And one by one, Danny Curl's title rivals are caught. There's a move from Matt Armstrong. He passes Gus Lawrence. Casper Scusa, his MLC Motorsport teammate, also trying to pass Lawrence. But again, well, Clayton Ravenscroft, he missed the first 2 rounds of the season. Well, he's he's not a championship factor. But again, all Danny Curl's rivals sort of falling over themselves, and the pathway is clear for Curl as long as he can just sort of keep it steady now for this round, and then the final 2 rounds of PFI. We're not going to give the championship yet, far from it, but who is going to put together the consistency to match him?
No, exactly that. It's been a roller coaster, really, in terms of racing. It always seems to happen where it drops back a few places, comes back, and then always seems to take home the points. Does Danny Curl, but then, like we're seeing here, 8.5 minutes to go, he's still under pressure. Ravenscroft in the 17 for KR Sport. He's not given up at all.
No, he hasn't. He only knows one mode, and that is attack.
Yes.
Attack, attack, attack. And he's closing in on Danny Curl. And of course, so, you know, Curl will not want to give him a victory, but Ravenscroft isn't going for the title. He's missed 2 rounds. He's just here, like Connor Zilish in a way, for the KR Sport team. He is just here, win races. You know, come to a circuit, want to win a race. Not thinking about the points this year. And Ravenscroft now comes through dogleg, even Curl up on the curb there. That is not what we've seen too much from Danny Curl, but Harry Platten there in the number 14 kart. Well, Platten, 7th in the point standings, but on the podium last time out at Kim Bolton, he is we're going to see one of the younger drivers in the field make a charge in the championship. Well, first things first, he's got to get past the 2 drivers in front of him into turn number 4. This is lap 10. Still, now at half distance, long way to go. Ravenscroft chasing Curl down. Now, the Queen 4th position is under pressure from Rory Hudson. So Rory Hudson looks like he's the quicker of the 2 drivers battling for 4th place at the moment. And in fact, the quickest of all is Harry Platten in kart number 14. So Platten is in Ravenscroft's slipstream. Ravenscroft just checks over his shoulder. And Danny Curl can't breathe easy just yet.
No, and I've just noticed as well, Brad Purnell in 12th place, 5-second time penalty for a start line infringement. Also, Ewan Wilson receiving the same penalty for the same offence as well. So race control now starting to dish out those 5 seconds, and down the inside, the 17 of Ravenscroft. A beautiful move on the inside of Curl there. He wants that win, doesn't he?
Oh, he absolutely does. And throughout his career, and I've watched Clayton since he started out in karting. You know, he's never one to sort of, you know, if you offer him an open door, he's never one to turn down the opportunity to barge straight, well, not barge, but to walk straight through it. And there was a great opportunity manoeuvre there. Curl wasn't defending, so he thought, right, well, I'll just lunge in turn number 1, stand on the brakes, and then, you know, let's see if Danny can get back at me. But he has the race lead at the moment. Harry Platten right there in 3rd place, and in 4th it is Hudson has got past McQueen in 4th place. So can Rory Hudson join the party? He's 2 seconds back, and Curl literally just stalking the race lead. He's on Ravenscroft's rear bumper, you know.
Feel like he's slightly toying with him.
Yeah, well, he's going to sort of like, this is a test of Clayton Ravenscroft's nerves. You know, come on then, Clayton, make a mistake. Make a mistake. I dare you. I dare you. I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm here. And Clayton's just thinking, shut up, I'm just going on with it. But into the dog leg we go. Platten watching and think, oh, and Clayton bounces over the curb there.
Quite a few of them are doing it, aren't they? I want to have a look at that curve at the end of today. I suspect it's covered in tyre marks. Those drivers have been absolutely clouting it, and it's been, just going through there. It can't be comfortable for the drivers.
No, anything but comfortable.
No,
you know, no suspension on the car. I mean, okay, the good thing is they've all got rib techs on, and that is what is saving their rib cages as we speak. Into turn number 5 we go, the top 3, nose to tail. And again, like There's Hudson in 4th, McQueen 5th, Fleming is 6th, Turner 7th, Armstrong is 8th, Lawrence down to 9th, Casper Scusa, a really good drive from Casper Scusa in kart number 11 up into P10. Reed is 11th, Hawthorne is 12th, Tillett 13th, McEwen is 14th, Serenetti is 15th, Morgan Porter from 30th to 16th, and that's with an injured hand.
Yeah, exactly that. So fantastic effort for that driver, and 4.5 minutes left on the clock. We keep an eye on these top 3 as they're still nose to tail. It's Curl who's going to lose out the most here. You know, he needs the points to keep hold of that. Like you're saying, the 14 of Harry Platten there, 7th in the points. So any points here or race win will massively benefit to gain those positions for the championship. But with those 4 minutes left on the timer, these 2 scrabbling away, or these 3 scrabbling away, it's still all to play for.
Yes, indeed. So, since Ravenscroft has got through, you know, Curl hasn't made a move yet. Ravenscroft hasn't been defending, but now, look, Curl dives to the inside going to pit bend. Ravenscroft, so he doesn't let him go, but he's going to go for the crossover move, and now it's wheel to wheel. Oh, Curl, they just give each other enough racing room, just inches apart there. Great stuff. Platten's going to get a good run at Mini Straight here, but Ravenscroft, now this is where Ravenscroft made his move earlier on, and it's where he makes his move again. So that is obviously a favoured place for Clayton Ravenscroft. 3.5 minutes ago, Harry Platten's thinking, now the last race, the driver in 3rd position going into the last lap came out winning the race. That would be quite nice if it happened again.
It would, wouldn't it? I think if it happened twice in 2 races, that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, for that driver. 3 minutes left on the clock then, and like I say, Curl, I think under the most pressure here, I'd say, because like you say, Ravenscroft, he's missed the first 2 rounds. He's just after that win. It doesn't matter if, you know, he drops down. I mean, yeah, it would be nice for a race win, but he's not focused on the points. Curl needs the points to keep that lead in the championship. And, you know, because he's going so nose to tail now, and under pressure here from Platten as well. It tries to go down the inside of turn 4, gets denied as Curl closes the door in the entry. Stays behind as they go through turn 5, so can't quite do anything here. That number 5, though, of Rory Hudson is gaining ever so closer.
Yeah, and there you go. So Curl didn't defend from Clayton Ravenscroft, but he does defend from the driver that he is competing against in the points. So he's obviously aware that, look, I can lose points to Clayton, it doesn't matter, but I want to keep Platten behind me. And Rory Hudson is closing in, and we saw Thomas Fleming in the number 73 Dan Holland racing kart moving to 5th place in the last lap. Thomas Turner moving into 6th, Caden McQueen slipping back to 7th place. Rory Hudson, 2 minutes to go. Well, if Curl does get to Ravenscroft and starts defending, that's going to slow the top 3 down, and it's going to bring Rory Hudson to play. Hudson's having, after a poor start, and Rory will be absolutely kicking himself from that start. He just stayed out really, really wide, lost a couple of places, but then couldn't get back in. He was caught wide, and he lost 7 or 8 places from the start. He's fought back well, however, into P4. There's the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place battle with the number 9 of Matt Armstrong in 8th place and looking good, with Lawrence 9th and Casper Scusa rounding out the top 10. On to lap number 18 we go, 90 seconds remain.
Yep, we're at the end of this race now, only a couple of laps to go. It's still Ravenscroft leading from Curl, Platten, Hudson, Fleming, Turner, McQueen, Armstrong, Lawrence. Then it's Casper Scusa rounding out the top 10. Danny Curl, fastest lap of the race in 2nd place. That gap just 1/10 of a second between those 2 as we look here at the 73 and the number 2, squabbling away. This is 5th and 6th, Thomas Fleming and Thomas Turner. And a red flag has come out.
Red flag's coming out. Now, why is that? Now, there is some consternation down at the complex. Couldn't quite see what the problem is. There are several drivers over there. Again, it was off camera, didn't see, so a minute to go. Well, that would be the end of the race. That is, obviously, it's well over 25% race distance. They're slowing them down. Now, I mean, we'll get the official word because we were on, I think we were on lap 18 there. Or we were on lap 17 when the red flag was called. And so let's have a little look down. I can't see who is involved, so I'm not even going to attempt to speculate or anything. There are several drivers down there, and some barriers have been moved. But the race has been red flagged, and obviously the ambulance, or the paramedics and the ambulance are quickly on the scene. There were several drivers sort of like you know, leading down. So maybe a cart had gone over. There was a driver trapped under a cart, but we can't see that. Don't know. And a minute to go. We'll wait to see where the results then will be brought back to the last fully completed race lap. And all we can say is that now there's a cart being rolled back across the circuit minus several bits of bodywork.
I think whatever happened, it happened into the entry of the complex, because you can see the barriers have been split in half. Now they are only empty plastic barriers. They're not extensive. They're not a heavy tile wall or anything like that. But like I say, the session has been red flagged.
So here's one driver pushing his cart back to the circuit. Now there's a lot of medical staff and race officials there standing just behind the barriers, but obviously the drivers involved are all sort of up and out of their carts. And who's this bringing? It looks like an Argenti Motorsport cart minus a nose cone on them, but I mean unofficially, and of course we'll wait to get confirmation of who is this coming back.
This is the 46.
That's Morgan Porter coming back to the pits with a, oh, and look at the front bar on that car has been pushed. That front bar is very, very skewy on Morgan Porter's kart. So obviously one of the drivers involved was Morgan Porter, and so he is okay. The other driver involved is standing up. I don't know the number, but he is standing up and chatting to the medical team. And I say I'm not going to pretend to try and sort of guess who it may be, but the main thing is that he is upstanding and chatting away, which means he's okay. And unofficially, that does mean, Anthony, that the results are brought back to the end of the last fully completed lap. Clayton Ravenscroft was in front, so unofficially Clayton Ravenscroft is there. The carts now all have to come back through Parc Ferme. The drivers pushing their carts back to Parc Ferme, and the main thing is that all the drivers involved in that incident were uninjured. And it's never a nice way. That was the last race of the day, and would Danny Curl have made a move? Would Harry Platten have made a move? Could Rory Hudson have caught all of them? Well, we shall never know. But the main thing is that 32 drivers started that race, and even though 32 karts didn't quite finish it in pristine condition, the drivers all did, and that is the only thing that really matters as they bring themselves back underneath the commentary position. And well, now we're going to find a couple more drivers pushing their carts back. Well, that's going to be, so we're still running lap 18 on my timing screens. Obviously the race result will be put back to the end of the last fully completed lap, and of course it takes the race director Nigel Edwards and Ken Potter to then communicate that to Ian Rogers at Motorsport Timing, our chief timekeeper, and then he will set the results at the end of the last fully completed lap, and then we will get the then he will you know, who's that? That's Nick Reed running across the circuit, so maybe Tyler Reed was one of those drivers involved. Now we're not going to have a restart. There was only 1 minute left on the race clock. Fantastic day of racing. Obviously, you know, not ending quite the way we wanted to. Just looking at some of the drivers coming back. Well, there's Sean Butcher being pushed back to the paddock. He had gone out earlier on and, you know, was out of the race. Now there is a PF International kart coming back, and I can see that the rear axle on that PF International kart is not looking very clever at all. That's the number 6 of Archie Tillett. So Tillett and Porter were two of the drivers involved. There is Mark Litchfield Racing kart being put onto its trolley as well. So one of the Mark Litchfield Racing karts coming back to the paddock, and again with one of the clerks, that looks like Alan Bryant, bringing that driver back. He did lose a Mark Litchfield Racing kart earlier on in the race, so the end of the 4th round of the Motorsport UK British Kart Championship. Anthony Jordan will be speaking to our unofficial race winner, Clayton Ravenscroft, very shortly, but Anthony will close out the show. All it just leaves me to say is thank you very much for everyone for joining us. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us here at Mansell Raceway in Dunkeswell. Fine facility. It's been a great welcome from the local club. A big thank you to the marshals and the medical team. As you can see there, they are there whenever they're called upon to deal with any incidents and accidents. So a big thank you to the marshals, the most important people in all of racing. A big thank you to our timekeeping team at motorsporttiming.co.uk. A big thank you to our Alpha Live for bringing you the live stream here today. A big thank you to Demon Tweeks for their sponsorship. And a big thank you to all the drivers and all their families. It's been a very strange weekend here in the south of England, with various parts of the country going back into a local lockdown, but I have to say that the drivers, their families, and the teams have all been very good at respecting the strict mask policy, and in the paddock, you know, everyone has been having to wear masks, ourselves included. So we are very grateful for all your support on that. Nobody likes wearing a mask, but hey, a mask is inconvenient. Death from COVID, slightly more inconvenient, let's say. So that is good to say. And we want to continue this championship, even though various parts of the UK, including my hometown in Barry, have now gone into a local lockdown. Hopefully they'll let me back in. But before, I'll say goodbye now. But Anthony Jordan has got one more interview to give you. Thank you very much for joining us. Anthony, take it away.
Well, joined in the winner's bay, we've got quite a few drivers and quite a bit of action, but Clayton, a race win. It's not the sort of end of the race you were expecting, but it's still a win for you. Well done.
Yeah, well, it's a bit unfortunate that we had to finish under a red flag. I would have liked to cross the line and see what would have happened on the last few laps for a battle for the win, but yeah, I guess it's just how it is, and hopefully everyone's okay from the crash. And yeah, it was just a really fun race to be a part of.
Well, I'm personally myself, I'm still unsure who it was, but I have heard that everyone is okay, so that you can take that load off your mind. But yeah, again, just for that race, you've not got, this is your first points for the championship, of course. You missed the first two, so you know, this just a race win is just a race win in this one, but it must feel good still.
Yeah, it was really good. I was obviously missed Rara, but we came back at Kim Bolton, had a good podium finish, so we were looking forward to pushing on and being able to kind of push our way into a winning position. And we came here and the pace was really good from the start, and yeah, it just worked out really well. Had a really good battle with Danny all the way through, and it was just, like I say, a really fun race.
It did look like a good fun scrap. Me and Henry were enjoying it all the way through on that one, but yeah, must be pleased with that one. Great end to the weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Spot on. Excellent stuff. Well, again, a dramatic end to the end of the racing here today. The first red flag and the only red flag of the day, but glad to hear that all the drivers are okay out on circuit as well. It's been a fantastic day of racing. We've seen plenty of wins all the way through the paddock as some of the teams emptying out the radiators out there. But again, congratulations to all the winners through the weekend today. A huge thanks to Demon Tweeks for, of course, sponsoring the championship all the way through. Huge thanks to Henry in the commentary box as well. He managed to keep me on my toes all the way through as well. But again, a massive thanks to all the drivers and the organisers at Motorsport UK for organising a fantastic championship. But from us here at Mansell Raceway, it's goodbye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the final podium presentation here at Mansell Raceway, it's on to Senior X30. Now, those of you watching the stream would have seen that the race was red flagged at the end, but what I have to say is that Archie Tillett, the driver that came out of his kart, was absolutely fine. I've seen him a little bit stiff, a little bit stall, but uninjured. That didn't take away the fact that this was a fantastic race up until then. And finishing as the top rookie, I think this is his best performance of the season so far, in 16th place overall, it's Jamie Rogers. So a great top 16 finish there for Jamie. Now on to the top three. One of the young guns in the class really coming on strong again. He was right there at the end, finishing in third position, it's Harry Platten. Finishing in second place, again, he leads the championship. It wasn't meant to be this time, it was very close at the end. We'll never know if he was able to make a move in the last minute of the race. Finishing in P2, it's number 1, Danny Curl. Nice of you to wear your overalls, Danny, thank you very much. But your race winner, on his return, he made his return to the British Championship at Kimbolton. He now makes his return to the top step of the victory podium. We're very pleased to have him back. It's Clayton Ravenscroft. Well, Clayton, welcome back to the British Championship to start with. I know you were there at Kimbolton, you got on the podium, but I mean, that was a really, really close race. Obviously, you know, we're never going to know what would happen in the last minute, but you and Danny had a great battle under constant pressure from this man here. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was a constant battle all the way through, really. Really tough all the way through. Chopping and changing positions all the time. But yeah, it was really enjoyable and happy to be able to be fighting for the win again.
Yeah, no, because obviously you missed the opening 2 rounds of the season, so every race that you turn up, it's just looking, you know, these guys are looking at championship points. You're just looking for P1, P1, P1. Does that affect the way that you race these guys at all?
Well, I guess it's more like you're not settling for like points sort of thing, settling for like a second or third. You're always fighting for that win, and that's just the way I prefer to race really anyway, so it's kind of ideal for me, yeah.
Well, it was a great race between you. It was a really strong race, and again, to the top 3 of you, another fantastic performance. Well done all, but well done. Congratulations, Clayton.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I go? Yeah. Go. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
So there we go. Congratulations. There's your senior X30 podium here at Mansell Raceway. A big thank you to everybody for tuning in on the Alpha live stream. We hope you've enjoyed the action here at Dunkeswell. Please join us again for the next round at Fullbeck for the KZ2 and TKM classes. We'll see you there.